is a very important transmission here on True School Sports. So, the untouchable True School Sports empire proudly presents something the boxing game has been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. And I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. I'm just getting out of the Ariake Arena. So much to talk about, so much to discuss in terms of Inoue's performance, in terms of the future, in terms of what's next, in terms of, this supposed American fight in April. Also got to talk about, my experience covering or being at the fight, because it was a crazy experience. Things kind of came together for me late. I wound up sitting ringside at the fights, which I would have never in my wildest dreams imagined that I would be sitting ringside at a Naoya Inoue fight in Japan. So goes to show you that when you work hard, you do get rewarded for your hard work. And I'm happy that I can say I saw the monster fight ringside in my lifetime. It's just he's just one of those fighters you got to see fight in your lifetime just once. But the result of the fight, and let me find a place to sit down. The result of the fight is a 4-round demolition job of Joon-Kim. Respect to Joon-Kim. Very brave, very game, very determined. At times in the fight, dangerous, because he did land some leather on Inoue. By the way, guys, don't be stingy. There's 9 of you guys here. Smash that like button. Run it up. I'm here in Japan. I don't see no other foreigners. I don't see no other Western boxing reporters at the fight. I searched near. I searched far. I did not find anybody from the States that covered the Inoue fight, because people in the States, and you guys know the channels, the ones that are even bigger than mine, they be having more money than me, and they won't even come here to Japan. So show some damn respect, honestly. Smash that like button. I guess we'll start with the fight, and I'm not sure how long this live is gonna be, guys. So it may be a short live, but I'm gonna come here and give you the live that I promised. Because I did promise you guys a lot. Let me see, where am I at? My data, 25.7. So I probably got roughly 45 to 50 minutes, maybe an hour at best. So make sure you guys get your comments in, because this live could end at any second. Because I still got to take a train. I still got a place to go and people to see. I got to shake hands. I got to kiss babies. Listen. Joon-Kim, like I said, he was playing with house money. I didn't think he'd win. The fight went pretty much how I thought it would go. I thought he would get stopped inside of 6 rounds. To his credit, though, it wasn't his fault why the fight got stopped in 6 rounds. He didn't quit. Inoue didn't completely get him out of there. His corner threw in the towel, which I think was the right thing to do, because I was sitting 4 rows from the ring, 4 or 5 rows from the ring, and Inoue was getting a lot of leverage on these shots. And this guy's pride, this guy's willingness to just show that he was a top class fighter, that's what kept him up. And to his credit, I'll give Yi some credit. Joon-Kim, he landed some nice counter shots. He landed some heavy leather in a way, but it's like the minute he started to open up in the 4th round, that was Christmas for Inoue. And Inoue made sure that at the first sign of danger that he ended this fight and not allowed this young, strong, hungry South Korean to get any sort of confidence. So pretty routine stuff for Inoue, just being honest. I hope Joon-Kim can come back in the future. I think his team did a good job by, allowing by throwing in the towel and not allowing him to continue. A lot of you guys in the comments are saying that Joon-Kim weighed 147. Yeah, he rehydrated pretty big. That's been a common theme in Inoue fights that happened with Doheny. He rehydrated to a big weight. Joon-Kim rehydrated to a big weight. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to see what if he does go to featherweight anytime soon, how he deals with the guys when they rehydrate, honestly. But such an experience, man. Such an experience. I'll say this about Inoue coming to the States, because boxing crowds in the States are so much different than in Japan. In Japan, they're nice, they're quiet, they're respectful. Even during the main event, it's like people were yelling. You had some of the Japanese people saying Naoya. They would yell his name here and there, but it was quiet. It was really quiet. It's a much different atmosphere than the States. When you fight Inoue in Japan, I would definitely say for fighters coming from the States to fight in Japan, you gotta almost treat it like it's high-level sparring, because it's gonna feel like that. You're gonna hear your trainers. People aren't gonna be loud. It's not hostile. It feels like a day at the gym until, you know, you get hit, and then of course they go crazy and they get excited. But it's a lot different, and it's weird because when I go to fights in the States, and I'm not saying this is a good thing or bad thing, I'm just telling you guys what my experience was. I had no problem with the Japanese crowd. I think their way is cool. They have their way. Everywhere has their way. But like, I didn't feel like when I go to fights in Vegas or like California or Texas, there's a certain like level of anxiety I get before a fight, a level of nervousness, even though I'm not the one fighting, because you know, there's hostility in the crowd. There is none of that here, so it's like I didn't get that same anxious, nervous feeling that I love to get when I go to big time boxing events. So it's definitely different. It's hard to put into words, but I'm trying to paint the picture for you guys as well as I can. But anyway, let me acknowledge some comments, because you guys got questions, you guys got observations. Listen, there's 32 of you guys here. Again, there's no other Western reporters at the fights. I don't see Marcos Viegas here. I don't see Eli Sekback here. I don't see Radio Raheem here. They're not here. Only True School. Only True School came to Japan. Ain't that some shit? Everyone says Inoue is this great fighter, and he's a damn great fighter. He's even better to watch live. But I'm the only Western person here, little old BT, who doesn't have as much money as some of those guys. I mean, come on. Show some respect and smash that like button. Anyway, we got my man Maximiliano in the building. Saludos. How was Inoue's punching sound live compared to on stream? I'll tell you this. When he was actually in the ring, I couldn't really hear the sound of his punches like that, because, you know, there's people around you, people are talking, you know, you can't really hear the sound of his punches right there. But I'll tell you this, I heard Inoue, because if you guys go and you watch my shorts, there's a short that I put up of Inoue walking to the ring, and you can see him literally walk right by me, and I said good luck to Inoue, right after he walked by me. There's a little corner before he walks out the tunnel, and there's a little wall. And him and his team went around the wall, and he was hitting pads, and I swear to God, guys, it sounded like a damn gunshot. It sounded like a damn shotgun. You can definitely tell when like, without even watching him, because I didn't watch him do the pads. I just saw him. I heard the sound. Just by hearing the sound of the pads, it just sounds like every punch is with bad intentions, which is a good thing. I mean, he's very good at getting full leverage behind his shots. I still think he can be timed, and to Joon-Kim's credit, he did time him a couple of times and did hurt him, but Inoue had already done such a great job in the earlier parts of the fight of placing body shots to the left side, to the right side, the straight right hand down to the body, that by the time he started landing anything of consequence on Inoue had already broken him down. And when Inoue landed that big straight right hand, that was all she wrote for Joon-Kim. But look, I want to see him again. I would like to see Joon-Kim with a full camp against, you know, someone at a lower level at 122. Like, I want to see him against an Elijah Pierce, a Marlon Tapala, something like that. I think he could do something. I actually think he could do something, because he's not too hurt from the fight. He's definitely strong. He's definitely big, and he does have some pop in those punches. I don't think I didn't say that Joon-Kim hurt in a way, but what I'm gonna tell you is I was 4 to 5 rows from the ring. I'm gonna tell you, some of them counters he landed, there was some heavy leather. There was some heavy shots. I still think Inoue took the shots relatively well, but I think Inoue understood the seriousness of the punches that were being thrown at him, and I think Inoue went ahead and once he got touched with that, I think it was a overhand left counter. Once he got touched with that, that's when he said, okay, playtime's done. And that's when the big straight right hand down the middle came, and he went ahead and got him up out of there. So, yeah, really fun to watch him fight live. Really fun. I wish it would have went some more rounds. I only got to see 4 rounds in person, but, yeah, it was cool. What do you guys think about him coming to America? You know, they say he's coming to America in April. I would presume and assume that he's not going to fight anybody at featherweight. I would still presume and assume that it will be Picasso, because Picasso's Mexican, and you know, that would be a good way to cater to the Mexican and Mexican-American audience, which sells so many tickets in the States. Don't really care for that fight. You know, you guys know, if you heard me before talk about Inoue and what I would like to see him do, I would like to see him fight at featherweight against the champions like Rafael Espinoza and Angelo Leo and those kind of guys. But I don't think that's going to happen. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a story, all right? I'm going to tell you guys a story because I actually had a chance to meet Mr. Honda. I met Mr. Honda today. He actually speaks English. I didn't know that Mr. Honda spoke English. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I pretty much told him, I tried to tell him who I was, about like how I covered boxing here on YouTube in Japan for all these years, and how I put a lot of people in America on the Inoue. And he wasn't trying, and Mr. Honda, he wasn't trying to hear none of that. He said, I can't talk right now. I don't got time for this. And he walked off. And he was with Hideki Ohashi. So then when I tried to speak to Hideki Ohashi, they said, no, you can't be here. So they threw me out. But hey, look, it was cool. I had a great experience. It was cool meeting Mr. Honda. It was cool seeing Hideki Ohashi. It was cool seeing Inoue in person. I didn't get a chance to talk to Inoue. It's all good, man. I live such a blessed life. God is so good. And there's no way I could have dreamt up this scenario where I'm here in Japan. I'm sitting ringside at an Inoue fight. It's one of those things, man. And everyone keep asking me how much them seats cost. I didn't pay anything for them seats, but I got some seats. God is good. But nonetheless, let me see. He is also fighting in Saudi Arabia. He's probably gonna fight MJ in Saudi Arabia. That's what I would assume. Kim hit a clean counter left in the fourth round on Inoue's face, and he was unfazed wild since he's a four. Yeah, I mean, look, one thing about Inoue, and I give him his due. He's got durability. He's tough. He was hit by some punchers, like Donaire's puncher. He got hit by him, took it pretty well. Neri's a puncher. He got dropped, came back up, stopped him. Joon-Kim is 447 pounds. Clipped him. I seen it. And maybe it'll look different when I watch the replay on the TV version. But from where I was sitting, it looked like in the fourth round, Inoue came in, and Joon-Kim clipped him right on the top of the head, or somewhere on his head, and he took it pretty well. So yeah, man, really fun fight for as long as it lasted. You gotta give Inoue his due. When I was there, it's like one of those times where you realize you're watching a master at work, a guy that has perfected the sweet science of boxing. Everyone keeps asking me about his first step, or not his first step. They keep saying about his power. BT, what do you think about his power? His power was cool, but to me, his power, like watching him ringside, his power wasn't really what was the most impressive thing to me. He's got power, and it is impressive, but the most impressive thing about Inoue, watching him ringside, is the speed of how fast he closes the distance. He closed the distance very, very quickly and swiftly. Like, you think, I was watching Joon-Kim try to circle the ring and get away from Inoue, and boom, Inoue just cut that space off real quickly and make him reset and have to go another route. So that was probably the most impressive thing, is his first step and how much he goes ahead and he closes that distance and cuts that gap. So yeah, man. To be honest, the fight was very I enjoyed it, but the thing is, when fights go as you expect them to go, it's kind of like you're not gonna be too hyped about it. The only reason I'm as hyped about it as I am right now is because I'm here. I went to the fight. It was something that I've been waiting 10 years for this day. 10 years to come to Japan and watch Inoue fight, and I didn't think I'd be ringside. I didn't think I'll meet Mr. Honda. That was pretty cool, even though it didn't go the way I wanted it to. Yeah, I got a deeper appreciation for the monster now. I got a bigger understanding for what boxing in Japan is like, because now, you've seen Inoue. There's no bigger than Inoue in Japan. So once you see how they treat him here and how big he is here, you understand just how big of a fighter he is. And I'll tell you this, Ariake Arena, maybe one of you guys can go Google this. Ariake Arena, I think, holds maybe 12,000 seats, 10,000 seats, something like that. I don't know how many seats it holds, but every seat was full. I mean, every seat was full before the co-main event started, which I think is cool. I think it's really cool to see that in Japan for a guy like Inoue, that not only were the seats full, but the seats were full before the co-main event. Sometimes in the States, the seats are empty in the co-main event, depending on the card and who's on the co-main event. But yeah, I'll show you guys this too. Now look, I bought this shirt right here. I bought this shirt. Naoya Inoue, Street Fighter. As you can see, it ran me like 6,800 yen. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna say that's like 30 or 40 bucks in the States. Yeah, and it got like, look, boom, Ariake Arena. But this isn't for me. This isn't my shirt. This is for my good buddy Felipe. So Felipe, if you're watching the live, this shirt is for you. I bought it for myself before you messaged me, but I'm giving it to you because I couldn't. You didn't cash at me, so I'll just give it to you. But yeah, it was pretty cool how they like they obviously had a store for Inoue at the fights, but they also had stuff there for Jin Sasaki. You know, Jin Sasaki didn't look like his best. I mean, he won, but he got tagged a little bit, showed some slickness, but got tagged, and then he didn't get the stoppage, which was a bit disappointing to me. But he did call out. But Jin Sasaki did call out. Jin Sasaki did call out Brian Norman Jr. He did it on the telecast, and then he did it when he saw me in the tunnel. So that could be a good fight. That's a fight that I think is one of the best fights in boxing. So, you know, he didn't look his best. Who else fought? I mean, Toshiki Shibamachi. He didn't look that good, but he barely won. He looks like he's a lost. In my opinion, Shibamachi's a good fighter, but I think he's a loss waiting to happen. Who else fought? Kyle Watanabe lost a very close fight to what's that guy's name? Narai, and then what's his name? Yuni Takada. He won his fight. Split decision. Should have got a UD, but you know, good card. I enjoyed it. Mountain Man said you should have bought Angelo Leo. You should have bought Angelo Leo and Naoya. Nah, we don't need no. Listen. See, I'm over here. I'm in Japan. I'm trying to talk to you guys about Inoue. I'm trying to you know, give you guys some thoughts on the fight against Joon-Kim. Me being here in Japan, and then I get a disrespectful comment like this about Angelo Leo. You guys are trying to get me out of character. I don't want to do that. I don't want to make this a live where I start talking trash about Inoue and about how we're gonna beat him when he comes to featherweight. I don't want to do that. So let's not go there. That's very disrespectful. That's a very disrespectful comment. Talking about another fighter who's a world champion needs to go. I should have bought another fighter who's a world champion merchandise of a fighter he's gonna fight. That's very disrespectful. But I'm not. This ain't the live for that. I'm not getting out of character. I will not crash out on you. You know. But anybody who's got some comments and thoughts, leave them down below. Put the Inoue US card. Yeah, I would love to see Brian Norman Jr. fight Jin Sasaki. I would love that fight. I think that's an amazing fight. I think after watching Jin, though, in my opinion, like just my unbiased opinion, I like Jin. I got a soft spot for Jin Sasaki. That's my guy. I love Jin Sasaki. I love his gym. I love Issei Nakai, his trainer or his promoter. I love everything about Jin Sasaki. I love the way he fights. I love his attitude towards boxing. I love his attitude towards life. But if I'm being unbiased here, I think I would slightly favor Brian Norman Jr. in that fight. I think Jin can beat Brian Norman Jr., but I think Brian Norman Jr. and Jin both punch close to the same. They're about close to the same punching power. I think Brian's a little stronger physically. I think Brian is a little stronger physically than Jin, so I think that'll be a fight where it could go. It's a toss-up. You know, neither one of them is a great defensive fighter. They're both very athletic. They're both very explosive, but I would just slightly lean towards Brian Norman Jr. I think it's one of the best fights in boxing. I think that's a fight they gotta put on the card. You guys are saying the sound isn't clear. Is the sound not clear? Have I been to Ohashi Gym? I've been to Ohashi Gym twice, and I don't want to go there again. If I'm being honest with you, I don't want to go to Ohashi Gym. It's not somewhere that's very welcoming to me, at least. Maybe it's welcoming to others, but it's not welcoming to me. So I'd rather not go to Ohashi Gym. But it's a nice gym. It's a great facility. I'm sure it's a great place to train. It's in Yokohama, as you said. No, you need to get a ticket. You need to get a ticket and behind the scenes for the two Saudi Arabia. Nah, I'm good. I'm not trying to go to Saudi. Listen, Angelo Leo's one of my best friends in the world. If he fights in Saudi, I'm not even going to Saudi with him. So I'm not going to Saudi under no circumstances am I going to Saudi for anything. Just go to Ohashi Gym. Just keep trying. No, I mean, I'm good. I'm not chasing Inoue for an interview, man. If it happens, it happens. I've tried so many times. Today I literally met Mr. Honda. Like today I met Mr. Honda, and I didn't think I was gonna get no Inoue interview. I don't really care as much about it as you guys do, but you guys keep asking me about it, which is why I keep trying to get it, because I'm not a selfish person. I met Mr. Honda. Like, I met Mr. Honda. You know, I just don't think it's going to happen until maybe he comes to America, or maybe the channel gets bigger. I don't know, but I'm not going to go to Ohashi Gym because it's not a very welcoming place for someone like me. You know, it's not. Just being honest. BT, is there any improvement or adjustment Inoue made in his defense? He looks sharp, but as usual, he likes to take a risk in this fight. Listen, man, Inoue is he's a great aggressive offensive fighter. So generally speaking, when you get an aggressive fighter like him who throws punches with bad intentions, and he's not he still has some of that Japanese regimented style where, like, you know, he keeps his head on the center line, you know, so he's gonna get hit. What was the question again? I lost my let me see. BT, is any improvement? It's hard to say. I can't really say he made an improvement because I think Joon-Kim, even in the little rounds they fought, I thought he landed some really clean counters. But again, Inoue's durability. When you fight Inoue, it's a matter of, okay, when he dishes it out, can you take it? And can you take it? And can you take it? And can you take it some more? Because every punch he throws with bad intention. So I just feel like it was the normal Inoue fight. Like, he got hit. He didn't really lose any rounds. He had very small moments in the fight where he got clipped, but he wasn't hurt, and he got a knockout. That's like the traditional Inoue fight. So I can't really say he got better or got worse. It was just kind of routine. That's the word I'll use for this fight. It was very routine. Another day at the office. You tweet Inoue in his walk-in video, he might like it. I might do that. I might tweet him his walk-in video. Maybe, I don't know, man. I don't know why people say Inoue gets hit a lot. From my point of view, it's just on the gloves, because I don't think it's that he gets hit a lot. I think it's that when he does get hit, they're flush punches. So he doesn't get hit a lot, but when he does get hit, it's flush. Like, it's a flush punch. So that gives people the reason to believe that if he were to get flushed a lot more by bigger guys, i.e. guys at featherweight, maybe he'd be in some trouble. But so far, listen, the guy is one of the most dominant fighters in boxing. He's got, I think the stat was this. I think the stat was that Inoue actually has, and shout out to Jan, my boy Jan, who was at the fights. He told me this. Inoue has more 10-8 rounds than he does 10-9 rounds. I don't know if that stat's still true after tonight, but I know before this fight he had more 10-8 rounds in his career than he does 10-9 rounds. That's actually a fact. That just that's the best way to describe his dominance. By the way, Mr. Honda said Nakatani versus Inoue is not happening in 2025. Inoue should move to featherweight and fight versus Nick Ball. Yeah, I think that's the move. I think that's the move for both sides. If he does go to featherweight, I think that's the move right now, because Nick Ball is not a big featherweight. Frank Warren is going to be looking to cash out Nick Ball, because Nick Ball might have a mandatory due real soon against Mirko Cuello. If Mirko Cuello beats Christian Olivio, which is a WBA mandatory eliminator fight on the Benavidez Morel undercard, I don't think that Frank Warren and Nick Ball are going to want any smoke at all with Nick Ball or with Mirko Cuello. I think he'll beat the brakes. I think he'll beat the brakes off of Nick Ball. So to maximize the revenue, if Inoue comes featherweight, they'll go the Nick Ball route. That is, of course, if Nick Ball gets through his next fight against TJ Doheny, because it's not even a foregone conclusion that Nick Ball beat TJ Doheny. You know, Doheny is veteran, been champion before. Yes, he's old. Yes, he's coming off a loss. But Doheny, we've seen it in the past. He's upset the apple card. And with him now being at a more advanced age, maybe him being at featherweight might actually be an advantage. He might actually fill out better and rehydrate better. So we just don't know. You know, Inoue could go. Doheny could beat Nick Ball, and all of a sudden you could be looking at Nick Ball or TJ Doheny versus Inoue in a rematch at featherweight for the WBA title. So crazier things have happened in boxing before. But make sure you guys smash that like button. It's your boy BT, live from Japan. I'm like, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes from the arena. But this is the most well-lit area I could find. So I'm gonna rock out right here with you guys until this little box, this magic box, until this box doesn't allow me to, or because I have to eventually take the train. But, you know, yeah, shout out to everyone who's supporting the channel, supporting True School Sports. That's, you know, just been rocking with me, man. I'm just really like today. The best thing, the word I can use for today is just gratitude. I'm just grateful for everything. Bro, he was so quick. He was very quick. I think Inoue being at 130, because he rehydrated to 135, which was 3 pounds lighter than what he was when he fought Doheny. And I could definitely tell, like, this fight, he was closer to the Inoue that I was used to seeing, speed-wise. He was still a lot faster than Doheny in the last fight, and Doheny's very crafty, so Doheny did do some things to offset the Inoue speed here and there. But there was a layer of speed that I'm normally used to seeing with Inoue that wasn't there in the Doheny fight, and it was very much there today. So it's good. Yes, sir. Do you think Sam Goodman lost his chance? I hope so. I hope so, man. Listen, Sam Goodman is a fighter that really and truthfully should never get an Inoue fight. And if he does get an Inoue fight, he should have to go back down and fight like a Neri, or like a Merjan, a Tapalis. He needs to go beat like another contender. Like the WBA should put him in an eliminator, because the way I see it, he lost his chance by him and his team being fools and not knowing how to spar properly, not knowing how to do a training camp. When you listen, I've been in a world title training camp. When you get into a world title training camp, you get to a place in the training camp where you got to taper down. You got to taper down your fighter. You know, you got to make sure the fighter isn't doing too hard sparring, and you got to make sure they're not leaving the best pieces of themselves in the gym. But you got Sam Goodman and his team, not once but twice, they doing spar wars, you know, like some fools. So no, he should be demoted, and the IBF should put him in an eliminator. Apparently they assured Ohashi they would not spar after the first. No, fuck that. He got two chances to fight Inoue. You got listen, most people don't even get one chance to fight Inoue. I want you to think about this. When you talk about a guy like Inoue is a money-making machine. I seen it today. Now I can tell you guys from what I've seen with my own 4 eyes the kind of money-making machine this guy is here in Japan. Not everyone gets one chance to fight him. He got 2 chances to fight him, and couldn't, and him and his team could not be professional enough to get to the fight date in one piece. So no, with all due respect, he can go kick rocks, and he should go fight an eliminator. You know, I got nothing bad to say about Sam Goodman as a fighter. I like him as a fighter. I was actually looking forward to seeing Sam Goodman versus Inoue, but you know, apparently Sam Goodman wasn't looking forward to seeing Sam Goodman versus Inoue. So yeah. Yeah, they broke their word. And yeah, yep. Inoue, yeah. Joon-Kim rehydrated to, what was it? 147. So he was basically a welterweight in there, and Inoue did that to him. Punched right through the target. Bang. The most telling shots that I could see from where I was sitting, I think it was around 3, towards the middle of the latter parts around 3. Joon-Kim kind of shut up on the ropes. And he was shut up for so long on the ropes that Inoue had all the time in the world to just load up and just deliver crucial shot after crucial shot to the body. And yeah, those shots right there, those look scary. But listen, he's pretty much what I thought he'd be in person. I'll be honest with you. Not a whole lot surprised me about Inoue watching him in person, because like, I've watched him so much. You know, I watch Inoue all the time. I study him all the time. I was studying him last night because, again, I believe one day he will be a featherweight, and I believe Angelo Leo will still be a champion, and I believe the paths will cross. So I'm always looking to see, like, things that he does right, things that he does wrong. And same thing with Angelo as well and other fighters, you know. I'm like that in general. When I watch boxing recreationally by myself, I watch fighters sometimes, and I'll watch them in slow motion, and I'll start, like, looking at things they do great and things they don't do so great, and you know, so I can see the fighters for what they actually are, because that's the problem with boxing fans. Is a lot of boxing fans, they get caught up in the hype, and they get caught up in, like, the name and all this stuff, and it's like, nah, man, I just see the fighters for what they are. Every fighter has the strengths, every fighter has the weaknesses. Inoue has his weaknesses, but he's got like 10 times more strengths. The real top fighters in boxing have way more strengths than they do weaknesses. Shout out to my boy Ty. Everybody here, give your appreciation for my boy Ty Yamamoto, the best translator in the game. They need to hire Ty. He's a great translator. Ty is the one that translated all these great interviews from like Seigo Yuri-Koi, Jin Sasaki, and he did a great job. I miss him. Time for the 126-pound division takeover to secure him as the lighter weight GOAT by the time he hangs up his gloves. I mean, look, I respect him. He's definitely a great fighter, and I think he has a great chance to beat all the champions at featherweight. But it ain't gonna be no takeover. I'll tell you that right now. He's not taking over the featherweight division. I hate to break it to you, and yes, I'm in Japan. I'm on Japanese soul saying this. Inoue is a great fighter. He's not taking over the featherweight division. He's not being Angelo Leo. But I want to see him try. I'm tired of hearing about Goodman. I'm tired of hearing about Merjon. I'm tired of hearing about Picasso. I don't even care if he doesn't fight Angelo. Let him fight Espinoza. Let him fight Ball. Let him fight the winner of Figueroa Fulton. Whoever the case may be. Just get him out this weight class. This weight class is done. It's over. It's finito. It's the end. It's not a great weight class. He already beat all the guys that you wanted to see him fight. He beat them already. You know? And it's actually credit to him. Like, he really cleaned out the weight class. A lot of guys don't clean out the weight class the way he did it. So he deserves credit for that. But, you know, it's time. It's time. Come to featherweight. I will say, Inoue's team has been mentioning 126 more, which is a good look compared to... Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's good because before it was like, man, you couldn't even say the words featherweight. And they, you know, you say featherweight, they say, no, Junto. You say featherweight, they say, no, Merjon. You know, so it's good that at least that's an idea that's being thrown around more. Do you think Inoue is trying to break Canelo's undisputed defense record? What record is that? What record is that? Canelo has 3 or 4 defenses of the undisputed title, something like that. I don't think Inoue is sitting there. I don't think Inoue is sitting there thinking to himself, you know, hey, let me go break Canelo's undisputed title record. I don't think he's. I just think Inoue is trying to fight the best he can in each weight class and get the most out of his career. You know. I don't think he can get the most out of his career until he goes featherweight. Honestly, I know I'm the most annoying person in the world when it comes to that, but to me, I think that's the move. Because look, even hypothetically, right? If Inoue did do what a lot of you guys think he's gonna do, and he went undisputed at featherweight, let's just say he did that. Okay, there's still hella contenders, a lot of really top guys in that weight class. I mean, featherweight's a very lot of depth in that weight class. So like, even if he becomes undisputed, there's still more to accomplish. There's still more to do, you know. See, I think Inoue should be favored over anyone at 126 at least. It is boxing though, anything can happen. Yeah, I think he'll go in as a betting favorite against all of them. I think I'll tell you this. I think the easiest fight from the division is probably going to be Nick Ball. I think Nick Ball beat the brakes off. I think Inoue will beat Nick Ball pretty soundly. I don't think Nick Ball has the punching power to hurt Inoue. He's got a good work rate, but it comes from a, you know, I think he'll be good, he'll be strong, he'll be game, but I think Inoue will beat him. Everyone keeps talking about Rafael Espinoza. I like Espinoza. I'm a big Espinoza fan. He's TV friendly. But I don't think anybody with and this is my opinion for Inoue, and I have this opinion too with Angelo. Those are the kind of fighters, like them two right there, fighters who have that kind of frame, that long lanky frame where you have all that torso to hit. I don't think those kind of fighters can beat fighters like Inoue and Angelo. So for that reason, I think Inoue will beat Espinoza, and I think he'll beat him pretty soundly. I don't think it's even going to be a hard fight. I honestly don't think it's going to be a hard fight, and I think Espinoza's playing with fire. I think Espinoza's playing with fire because he's big. He's big for the weight class. And listen, if he wants to sit there, and if he wants to, you know, if he feels he can make the weight, then that's his prerogative. He said I saw that he said he wanted to stay at featherweight. I think the weight cut is eventually at some point going to catch up to him, and I think he's gonna get absolutely beat up. Now I don't know if it's gonna be Inoue that beats him up, or I don't know if it's gonna be Angelo Leo that beats him up. But one of them two is beating him up. That much I do know. A lot of you guys say Brandon Figueroa is a hard fight for Inoue at 126. I could see Brandon Figueroa being a tough fight. Figueroa is a tough guy for a lot of fighters at 126. He's big, he's strong, he's a little awkward, southpaw, good work rate, intelligent body puncher. I could see him being a good fight in a way. But listen, he got to go beat Stephen Fulton. He ain't even proven that he can do that yet. So he needs to go beat Stephen Fulton. You know, he needs to go beat Stephen Fulton. Because I don't know if he's gonna do that. I'm slightly favoring him over Stephen Fulton. I don't think he's gonna be. I think he'll probably beat Stephen Fulton because I think with this fight being at a higher weight, the punches that he was landing in the first fight are gonna have more of an effect on Fulton in the second fight. So I think that'll be the difference in the fight. But he's never beat Stephen Fulton before, so we gotta see. Lou Spooky 77 and Lou, I saw you delete the comment. I saw you delete it. You said that Angelo Leo don't got nothing for Espinoza. But I can't really take what you say serious because you're the same person that was talking all that shit about Venado Lopez, and Venado Lopez got his freaking brains beaten in. So I'm not even gonna pay attention to nothing you say about featherweight. What you say about featherweight doesn't hold any weight. Because you talk the most about Angelo and Venado got his fucking brains pushed back in and almost died. So, you know, respectfully, I'm not trying to talk bad about Venado, but that's what happened. Leo definitely ain't doing nothing to Espinoza. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I think that's going to be one after Espinoza's last fights in boxing if they fight. Because one thing about when guys fight Angelo Leo, whether they beat him or whether they lose to him, no fighter is ever the same after they fight Angelo. Look at his track record. Stephen Fulton beat Angelo, right? But Stephen Fulton has had one good performance since he fought Angelo, which is Danny Roman. Every other fight he had outside of Danny Roman, he looked like not that great in. Tremaine Williams was undefeated, supposed to be a world champion, was a favorite against Angelo, 15-time or whatever national champion, never been the same. Rocky Juarez only got knocked out one time before he fought Angelo. Angelo beat the shit out of him. He's been knocked out like 5 times since Angelo, you know? Venado Lopez, we'll see what happens with him, but I doubt he'll be the same, so I'm just saying. We shall see. Espinoza's good, and I give him his credit for beating Rabasi in the rematch, but I don't believe. He has to make me a believer because I don't believe. Kyoto says they're really hating on Angelo when he's the smallest champion in featherweight. That should say enough. Yeah. Funny enough, right? Everyone's saying that like he's gonna fight Nick Ball. Nick Ball's probably like not taller, but you know, wider than Inoue. He's like a wrecking ball. He is what his name. He's a wrecking ball. Inoue is actually, because now I've seen Inoue for a prolonged period of time this time because he walked by me today and then I saw him before he walked out. Go check out my YouTube shorts. Now I really know how tall he is. Him and Angelo are pretty close, actually. They're a little closer in size than I thought. So I'll still say Angelo's a little bigger, but that's probably the, if you're looking at in terms of height, in frame, and at featherweight, Inoue and Angelo are probably the two most similar fighters in the division. I think it's a great fight. I think it's one of the best fights in boxing. And I thought that for a long time. I think Leo is the second best fighter between 122 and 126. I ain't mad at that. He's up there. Listen, y'all not going to sit here and tell me what I know. Because I sit here for hours. I sit here for hours and hours and hours. And I study the featherweight division. I really watch boxing. And I know how good Angelo is. So you're not going to sit here and tell me motherfucking Nick Ball and... I mean, you can believe in Espinoza all you want. I don't believe in Espinoza like that when it comes to like the hierarchy of the divisions. Leo was cool, but you kind of overrated him. Oh, I didn't overrate him. Lou, you are the one that said, I remember you, and you after you were wrong, after you were dead wrong, you went ahead and you deleted your comments. I remember I seen you on the shorts. I remember there was a short where Angelo was running up Mount Charleston, and you said, and the title of the short was Angelo Leo training to beat Venado Lopez. And you commented and you said Angelo trained to get knocked out. And then after he knocked Venado the fuck out, you deleted the comment. I seen exactly what you said. And I remember these things. So don't sit here and say I'm overrating him when all I'm doing is telling you that you were wrong. That's all I'm saying. Just give him his due. 2-division champ. Leo just needs to get a personality to get the hype. He is a bit overrated. How is he overrated? How is he overrated? I'm the only one on YouTube that talks about him regularly. How is he overrated? Leo is good, but not popular enough to fight the monster yet. I'm not talking about popularity. You guys talking about popularity. I'm talking about who the best featherweight in the division is. The best featherweight in the division is not Nick Ball. You can believe it's Espinoza. You're gonna find out very soon that's not the case. And Figueroa and Foreign got a dispute to settle. You know, all I know is this: there's only one guy in this weight class who has won a world title in 2 weight classes. There's only one guy in this weight class that beat the longest reigning champion in the division. And there's only one guy in this weight class that had 2 one-punch knockouts in 2024. These are facts. I'm not sitting here like you guys are saying, oh, I'm being biased, I'm crashing out. No, I'm calm. I'm actually very calm right now. These are facts. If Leo takes Inoue step by smothering him, it will be trouble, but Inoue has some power even without loading up. He's powerful no matter where he punches from. Is Kameada's brother a troublemaker in Japanese boxing culture? Are Kameada's brothers troublemakers? Look, man, I've been here in Japan for 3 months, almost 3 months now. And when I got here, a lot of people were telling me negative things about the Kameada fight, or the Kameada promotions. They were saying they're unprofessional, and I've heard all kinds of crazy things, like stuff that I can't even repeat here on YouTube. You know, that was told to me in confidence. But like, yeah, they're different to a lot of Japanese. Like they're very out there, from what I hear. I never met them, so I can't judge them. But I'm just telling you what I hear. They keep pushing the fights back over and over again, which I don't like. I feel like Tomoki is a good fighter. I respect Tomoki. I take Tomoki very serious because he's a former world champion. He deserves respect as a former world champion and the IBF mandatory challenger, because I'm not like a lot of boxing fans. I actually respect mandatories. I actually respect guys that won world titles. A lot of you guys in this comment section in boxing, a lot of you guys don't respect mandatories. A lot of you guys don't respect guys that won world titles, because some of you guys are not really fans of boxing. You're just fans of, I don't know, but it ain't boxing, you know? But yeah, I think he's gonna get beat up when they fight. But just hopefully it happens. I'm kind of upset that they pushed the fight back 2 or 3 times already. Good win for him, but Venado obviously didn't have fundamentals. Yeah, so then why did he become world champion? Why did he have 3 title defenses? He's so trash. Everyone keeps saying he's so trash, but he won a world title and he defended it 3 times. So clearly, whether you think he had no fundamentals or not, there's something that he did right. I'm not even no Venado fan. I always said Venado had flaws. Everyone that Inoue fights is almost always bigger than him. He is the modern day Manny Pacquiao. I mean, he's probably the closest thing, because like the same things that people were saying about Pacquiao back then, like when Pacquiao was beating up certain guys in certain weight class, they said, no, you got to move to the next weight class, because they just knew if Pacquiao was close to the same size as someone, more times than not, he was going to beat them. So the only way Pacquiao could lose most times is if he fought someone bigger than him, you know? And that was the allure of his career, and it's the same thing with Inoue. We're at that point with him now. You know what I mean? Let's put a potential. If Inoue wins any world title at featherweight, let's put that into its proper context, into its proper perspective, right? And let me see, where am I at right now? I'm at 26.2, so I probably got 20 minutes left, 20 or 30 minutes left, we'll see. But look, smash that like button, subscribe. We're here. I'm in this park, all right? I'm trying not to yell, but some of y'all making me come close to crashing out. But what I want to say is this. If Inoue wins any world title at featherweight, that'll be his 5th world title, fifth divisional world title. And that'll put him in very, very esteemed company, because in the history of boxing, it's only the boxing who's who that have done that, you know? Mayweather, Hearns, Leonard, De La Hoya, Pacquiao, and I believe that's it. I believe those are the only five division champions. Maybe I might miss one person, but I'm pretty sure that's the only 5 division champions. So he's gonna join that company. That's really esteemed company. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, it's greatness, man. I can't hate. Naoya Inoue will stay at 122 in 2025. Be patient. 2026 will be the year for Inoue to move to 126. We'll see. We'll see. God is the best of planners. I'll leave it at that. I never said that he was trash. But no, Lou Spooky. You're not saying he's trash, but your comments suggest that you're saying that, because I wouldn't even be talking about. There's videos where I'm not even talking about Angelo. It's just video of him running up a fucking mountain, and you're talking nonsense about him. Then he wins, and you over here deleting comments, and I don't forget things. So, I'm just pointing things out. You don't gotta think he's the best, but I'm just saying there should be more respect. And it's like, that's how boxing is. That's how this boxing game is. And you know what? Now I understand Canelo a lot more. I understand Canelo Alvarez a lot more, because Canelo Alvarez, I used to criticize him a lot. He beat some good names. He beat a lot of great names, actually. But it's like, no matter who you beat, it's like, okay, well, if you beat someone, they say his style wasn't good. If you beat him, or they say he wasn't in his prime, or you waited too long, or they were weight drained, or whatever the case may be. It's very rare you hear somebody say, oh, you know what? That guy was just a better man on that night, you know? Now, look, I got a comment, all right? I got a comment from someone. Where was it? Where was it? Zim Mill says, I know boxing ain't a triangle theory, but bro, Leo couldn't even win 2 rounds against Fulton. Now, first of all, that's not even correct. He won 4 rounds against Fulton. They won. I just watched that fight last night. He won 4 rounds. Fulton won 8. Fulton dominated the back half of the fight. But it's like, there was a reason I brought this up. It's like, look. It's like you look at Stephen Fulton, right? Stephen Fulton's fought everyone. He's fought everyone. He loses to Inoue. He's a bum. Angelo hasn't lost a fight since Fulton. Has been knocking dudes out silly with one punch. Mike Plania to the ribs, Bernardo to the head. But they still bring that up. Now, yeah, he lost to Stephen Fulton. That's fair. Stephen Fulton was a better man. The reason I'm bringing up Stephen Fulton, now I remember. The reason I'm bringing up Stephen Fulton, because I'm going to do what a lot of people can't do in boxing. I'm going to say that on that particular night, which was 4 years ago now, 4 years ago. So you're talking about a fight from 4 years ago. Are you guys still the same person you were 4 years ago? Is Inoue the same fighter he was 4 years ago? Is Stephen Fulton the same fighter he was 4 years ago? Things change over the course of 4 years. The president's not even the same as it was 4 years ago, right? So it's like, Angelo's not even the same fighter he was 4 years ago. Look at his body. If you go back, just go back to watch the fight, go look at his body, and then go look at his body now. He's more physically mature now. You know, his balance is like I could go on for days of how much different of a fighter he is. You know, everyone says that Stephen Fulton beat him 11-1. I think that's just people exaggerating. He won 8-4. He got hurt in the 4th round. Go back, and if you don't believe me, go back and watch. Go back and watch the 4th round of the Stephen Fulton fight. He gets hit with a straight right hand down the middle, and he got wobbled, and then he starts holding for dear life in the 4th round. All right, so you know, if Stephen Fulton beats Brandon Figueroa, which I'm praying to God he does, you'll see how much different you'll see how much different that fight's gonna be at featherweight. You know, I can't wait. He said on the officials. Okay, he's going off the officials. Well, they were wrong. 8-4. I'm not gonna lie. Angelo versus Kameada kind of makes sense. Both people are hating on both of them. Yeah, listen. Kameada is the IBF mandatory. As someone had alluded to earlier, right? They said Angelo's not popular enough to fight Inoue. Okay, well, this is good for him. He can come to Japan. He can fight a name. He knocks him out or does well. He becomes a bigger name in Japan and makes the fight bigger. So if Kameada beats Angelo, now he's got Inoue has a reason to make an all-Japanese fight at featherweight with a guy that he's got history with. So it makes sense for both parties. I believe True School is Angelo's promoter. Absolutely not. His promoter is Gary Jonas and in association with Bob Arum. Why aren't the 126 champs unifying? They're waiting on the Inoue paycheck or something. I don't know, man. I can tell you this. Bob Arum is hell-bent on not allowing the Espinoza or Leo to fight each other, because I know Espinoza's manager, and I know what kind of people Espinoza's team is. I know what kind of fighter Espinoza is. I have zero doubt in my mind, if paperwork got passed to Espinoza, he would take the Angelo fight in a heartbeat. I don't think he's ducking Angelo. I know Angelo ain't ducking Espinoza. Bob Arum said it on this channel, and I'm gonna keep referring to it because it's like people didn't watch the interview. Bob Arum said it on this channel back when I interviewed him in June before Rafael Espinoza's fight against Sergio Trino Sanchez. I asked him, I said, Bob, when are we gonna get these featherweights start unifying with each other? And Bob said that he doesn't want to have the featherweights unify with each other because of the fact that you know, he wants all his featherweights to get a payday. And if we have one unified champion at featherweight, then, you know, all these guys can't get a payday. These are his words. I'm using Bob's words. I'm not using the fighter's words. I'm using Bob's words. You can go check the interview. So that's what he says. He's trying to sound like all generous. I don't think Bob's trying to be generous. I think him keeping Angelo and Venado and I guess Nick Ball as well, because Nick Ball's in the Riyadh season umbrella. Them not fighting each other, that's Bob's way of controlling Inoue through the matchmaking, because he can still kind of keep things in house. You know, he could dictate more what happens in his career if the guys don't fight each other. And plus, he'll make more money in those scenarios off those guys than if they fought each other. Which is, I know people don't want to hear this. I know box fans don't want to hear this, but I'm just telling you the realities. All right, I'm telling you the realities. Espinoza is a true warrior. You can't question Rafael Espinoza as a fighter. That guy fought Robeisio Ramirez multiple times when nobody knew who he was. Came to South Florida in the land of Cubans and beat him. All right. Can't question his heart. The way he got out the canvas, you can't question Rafael Espinoza's heart. You can't. I don't think he would duck anybody. Definitely can't question Angelo's heart. Angelo. If you followed his career, you know one thing he ain't lacking his heart. So it's not on the fighters. It's not on them. It's on Bob Arum and the people behind the scenes. So yeah, that's my answer to the question. They should do a World Box Super Series for featherweight. I would love that. I think a World Box Super Series for featherweight would be amazing. You see, now I'll tell you this. A lot of you guys ask me. They say, BT, how come you don't like Turkey? Why? What's your issue with Turkey? You always are hypercritical of Turkey, right? Okay. If there's one foolproof way Turkey could get me on his side, is to do a featherweight tournament. I'm talking about Angelo, I'm talking about Espinoza, I'm talking about Ball, and I'm talking about the Fulton Figueroa winner. You get them four in a tournament, I'll shut the hell up for like 3 months about Turkey. Hockey says, I witnessed Bob Arum's words in BT. Yeah. I'm not making things up. I don't lie to you guys. If there's one thing that I don't do to people here on YouTube is lie. A lot of other channels, and I'm not trying to put nobody down, but they make a living off lies. I don't lie. Why would I need to lie? I live my life with integrity when this camera isn't on. So you think I'm not gonna live my life with integrity when this camera is on? Come on, man. You guys know who you're talking to? Jordan K says, I still have yet to see Inoue do a fully cocked back KO punch on someone. He KOs with such short range. It's crazy. But that's part of the reason why. He's getting knockouts. You know, it's not. You don't need to cock like you don't need to cock punches back. He understands leverage. He understands how to get all that leverage on the center line and just punch the target. And that's making it so fun to watch. You know. Without Turkey, last year's few big fights wouldn't have happened. Yeah, I mean, Fury and Usyk wouldn't have happened, and Better Be a Bivol wouldn't happen. I'll give you that. But yeah, I'd like to see Turkey do the featherweight tournament. That'd be cool. DM Rai says, how fast is Inoue straight right hand live? I mean, it's fast. It's fast. Nothing really surprised me. Like, it was fast. Like, everything was about at the speed I thought it would be at. His punches were not the impressive thing. It was the foot speed. It was the way he went from here to here. Like, you know, if fighter A is here and Inoue is here, it's the way he got from here to here so quick. That was the impressive thing. Everybody talks about punching power. Why is Turkey bad? He's been exciting for boxing the little time he has come to boxing. Listen. This live is about Inoue. I shouldn't have even answered the Turkey question and even said what I said. This live is not about Turkey. This live is about Inoue. I'm not gonna make this live about Turkey and go into my whole spiel about why I think he's bad for boxing long term. If you want to hear those videos, they're on the channel. I'm not going to do that here. I'm in a good mood. I'm full of gratitude. I'm a happy person. I will not talk about Turkey today. How was the atmosphere on screen, BT? It looked amazing. It was cool. It was good. I think, you know, like Japanese, like I was explaining it earlier. Japanese crowds are so much different than America. They're very, I guess, hospitable and polite. I think that's the word I would use. And take some time to get used to. But they definitely livened up for Inoue. For Inoue, they were a lot more lively. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was different, and I did enjoy the experience. But I do like hostile crowds a little more than the polite crowd. Just because there's a feeling that I get when I go to big fights in America, where I get nervous. Not because I'm not the one fighting, but it's just like it's a certain anxiety that I feel before fights. I didn't quite have it this fight, and I think part of the reason why I didn't have it is because the crowd is just so reserved and subdued and respectful, which has its positives. Like I did like when Joon-Kim got out the ring and walked back to the dressing room. They clapped him. They made sure they all gave him a standing ovation, including Inoue. So I like the sportsmanship aspect of that. It's just different. As an American, it's different. I don't want to say it's better. I don't want to say it's worse. It's just different, and you know I'm glad I got to experience it. Who is Inoue fighting in 2025? Whomever his heart desires. Because he's the money man. You know, he's the money man. So if you want to fight whoever, that's who it's gonna be. Horo Ohashi and Mr. Honda, who I both had a chance to meet after the fight briefly. Whoever they want to fight, that's they're gonna fight. Chola says if Turkey mentioned stuff like Kenshiro should be in the top 10 pound for pound, and maybe I would. Yeah, now see, now we're talking. So if we get Turkey to start again, I don't want to talk about Turkey, but like if he were to do the featherweight tournament and then say Kenshiro was top 10 pound for pound, then I would start talking a little differently, you know. But God bless him, you know. He's not all bad. He's not bad. He's not all bad. Nobody's all bad and nobody's all good. I bet right now I'm curious. I'll watch the videos because you could be right. Can't really say nothing till I hear your side. I'm just saying from my point of view, he has really good cards, and I bet you ain't missing one. No, I haven't missed one because I don't miss any boxing. That's my job. It's my fucking job. With all due respect, I don't want to be the curse, but like it's my job. I'm literally look, like I don't know if you see where I'm at. I'm literally in Japan covering boxing, so it is my job. I'm not going to Saudi. I'm never going to Saudi though. But yeah, I watch his cards because I gotta stay informed of what's going on, because you know what's crazy? If I decided to not watch Turkey, let's just say, right, and again, we're talking about Turkey. If I decided to not watch a Turkey card, then people would start saying, well, BT, what? People will ask me about it anyway, and then I have to talk about it any damn way. So just cover everything. We should see Jutsu versus Inoue at the end of the year. He then can sweep 126. That's not happening. Ohashi already came out and said that's not happening. So you're not gonna get it this year. And any more time of him at 122, as far as I'm concerned, is a straight waste of time. As far as him to be 126, I would like to see him try. I don't think that's gonna happen. But please feel free to try. I'm surprised by the good performance of Yuji Takada, who was an underdog, and disappointed by Kai Watanabe. Yeah, Kai Watanabe was very disappointing. You know, he was getting some real good knockouts here in Japan. He was getting some good knockouts here in Japan, and you know, he was little like if he would have won this fight today, Kai Watanabe probably would have been in the top 15 because he was already the WBO Asia Pacific champion. So he lost. It's back to the drawing board for him. He's got a lot to learn. I was very disappointed with his inability to shorten his punches when the gap was closed, because he couldn't land at mid range. Because this guy that he fought, I forgot his name, but kept putting on the back foot over and over again. He was the harder puncher, the more critical puncher in the exchanges. So disappointed in him. But yeah, Yuji Takada, really good performance. You know, has an interesting looking record. He got 5 losses, but he fights really, really well. A hard puncher, good speed. You know, tough as nails. Wouldn't mind seeing him get the title shot against Oscar Collazo because he's the number 2 WBA contender. Yeah, I got a lot of love for Uni Takada. I had a good time talking to him. Had a good time watching him fight in the rounds. I did get a chance to watch the fight because I didn't get a chance to watch the whole fight. But if it is your job, you have to take your motives out of it and go to Saudi. Now I can't go to Saudi. I don't think you understand. I can't go to Saudi. I've already said enough bad things about Saudi. I'm not gonna go to Saudi and risk my life when I've already spent tons of videos downing Saudi and what I think about them in boxing. So that's just not smart, you know. I still stand on everything I say, but I'm not gonna go to Saudi and risk my life. Nah, fuck that. I'll stay in USA. What does the Inoue need to do to cement his legacy in the eyes of the West? That's a hell of a question. When you say the West, I mean, I feel like people who know boxing in the West, they know Inoue is great. They know he's top shelf, upper echelon fighter. You can't hate on Inoue if you know boxing, if you claim to know boxing. For some people, honestly, there's not anything Inoue can do to please him. It's the same thing with any other fighter. Look at Canelo Alvarez, look at Mayweather, look at anyone, at any level. You can look at Uni Takada, you can look at Oscar Collazo, you can look at some prospects, you can look at Angelo Leo, you can look at Rafael Espinosa. No matter which fighter it is, till the day a fighter retires, you have to always prove yourself. Your legacy is not really cemented until you hang them gloves up, and then that's your legacy. You know? Then we can talk about legacy. But until then, while you're active, you're always in the constant state of improving. Let me see. You should vlog a day in the life of Saudi. You just have to apologize, kiss the ring. That'll never happen. Listen, you got a better chance of me chopping my nuts off live on YouTube than me ever kissing the ring of Turkey and Saudi. That's never happening. Never. Please, guys, get it through your head. That's never happening. You have a better chance of me coming here on YouTube, getting butt naked and chopping my nuts off in front of you guys than that happening. And I know that's like a weird, that's like a out there expression, but I have to make that kind of out there expression for some of you guys to understand. That's not happening. So, yeah. Let me see. We're like an hour in. You thought Shibamachi should have gotten the Inoue fight over Kim. I don't see how he's rated that high in the rankings. I mean, look, he would have got stopped too. He was the only other option. He was the only other option at the time. He don't punch as hard as Joon-Kim, so maybe he would have got dealt with a little earlier than Joon-Kim. Maybe Inoue would have killed him, would have stopped him earlier. I don't know. I think the same thing would have happened to both of them. I just thought, with his ranking being a little higher, he was probably more justified to get the fight. But, you know, it is what it is. Why didn't anyone bring up NJ to Inoue? Those are the kind of questions that need to be... Man, they're not going to ask that here in Japan. They're not going to ask that. First of all, MJ is not big enough a name for them to ask that, even though he is mandatory, and I think he should fight. I think if Inoue stays at 122... he should definitely go ahead and fight Merjan. And you guys know I'm not a Merjan fan. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not a Merjan fan. But if he does stay at 122, he needs to fight Merjan and drop that belt. And I'll say this: if he drops that belt, even though I think he would beat Merjan, it will be a bad look. So I hope if he's gonna stay at 122, then go ahead and fight Merjan. Honor your mandatory. I keep that same energy. Like, I'm very big on one thing that really grinds my gears about boxing is when fighters don't honor their mandatory challengers, because I feel like mandatory challengers, they earn the right. You know, people always cry about the IBF, but they earn the right. You can't. Americans hate is strong. LOL. Usyk doesn't get credit in America. He does. Listen, you can't blanket America. You can't blanket America and say, oh, because there's plenty of intelligent American boxing fans. You guys think that, you guys that are not from the USA think that, oh, the American boxing fans are just like everybody in the LDBC who hates anybody who's not black. And that's not true. There's plenty of rational, smart American boxing fans. I watched the Inoue interview just now in Las Vegas. yeah, if he's coming to Las Vegas, I don't think he's gonna fight any of the featherweights. I think that it'll probably be Picasso like they originally planned, and Merjon. I think the rest of his year will probably be like Picasso and Merjon. So you know, these are good fighters. You know, good fighters, but not anybody crazy. If Inoue did blow through 126 and become a 3-weight undisputed champion, where would you place it in the history of boxing? That's a great question. Well, considering that he started off from 108, I mean, there's not really been anybody, including like Pacquiao was great, but Pacquiao didn't go undisputed in 3 weight classes. So it would be really unprecedented. I think Inoue would definitely cement himself as an all-time great if he did that. That's all-time great stuff. Hell, even if he wins 1 belt at featherweight, that's a 5-division champion. That's all-time great stuff. So he's on the precipice of greater greatness. He's on the cusp of greater greatness. Will I be watching the Steve Nelson Pacheco fight? When is that? I know that fight is soon, but you know I'm in Japan, so I got my time zones mixed up. When is that fight? How far are we away from that fight? Are we like 10 hours from that fight? 8 hours from that fight? What time is it in the States right now? I don't even know. I know it's probably daytime, so probably like in what, like 12 hours or so maybe? Jin Suzuki should fight which champion? Brian Norman Jr. Who, by the way, Jin Suzuki called out Brian Norman Jr. not just in his post-fight interview, but he called him out right here on True School Sports. If you go watch my YouTube shorts, he came up to me when I was in the tunnel, because I was in the tunnel waiting for Inoue to come out because I had special access or whatever, and he came to me and he spoke English. He spoke in English. Jin Suzuki literally called Brian Norman Jr. out in English, so there can be no confusion. No translator, no Japanese. He called this man out in plain English. So I don't want to hear it. If Brian Norman Jr. beat Derek Cuevas next, and they can't do that Boots fight because Boots got to fight Stanionis, Jin Suzuki and Brian Norman Jr. I'm gonna keep saying it. I want this to be accepted as a universal truth in boxing until the fight happens. Jin Suzuki versus Brian Norman Jr. is one of the best fights in boxing from an excitement standpoint. I need you guys, the boxing fans, to get behind me on this one. This is a great fight. You got 2 explosive fighters who don't have great defense, who are both very strong and both above average athletic fighters. It needs to happen. And like rankings wise, it makes sense as to why it needs to happen. Let me see. Where am I on this box? Because we're an hour in already. And I think I said what I needed to say. Okay, 26. Okay, so I'm gonna go live for like 5 more minutes, guys, because my data on my box is running out, and I had to take a train to be safe. But you know, get your questions in. Nick says you can do the Inoue interview, man. You have to try. Listen, man, I've been trying. You guys have no idea how much I've been trying. Do you guys? Do I need to do a whole video to like? Because people think I'm not trying. If there's one thing I'm doing is I'm trying to get the Inoue interview. Do I have to do a whole video for you guys to understand how hard it is to try to get this interview out here in Japan? Do I need to do that video? I don't want to do that video, but do I have to explain it? Because a lot of you guys just keep saying, just keep trying. I'm trying my ass off. I can't try no more than I've been trying. Every time I think I've tried hard enough, I find a new way to try harder, and it's still not enough, you know? So I'm trying. I'm not going to explain it all right here. It has to be in a long form video format. Like it's probably going to take me 45 minutes to explain to you guys, because you guys think it's just like, oh, I just walk in the gym and just interview Inoue. And it's not like that. You guys gotta remember, I'm not mainstream media. I'm not ESPN. I'm not Top Rank. I'm not Japanese media. I'm not the TV station. I'm just a kid from Dania, Beach, Florida, with a boxing channel. And I just so happen to love Japanese boxing. And I just so happen to be good at doing interviews. And I just so happen to have enough content that's resonated with a lot of people around the world. So I have a good audience, but I'm not the biggest channel. So generally speaking, they see me as a nobody, really. I don't want to do that video. I don't want to do that video because I feel like it's gonna be like, even if I come out and I'm respectful and I'm calm, people are just gonna say that I'm hating on Inoue, and then it could have a negative impact on me here in Japan. So I don't want to do the video. But if I gotta do it, if I gotta do the video for you guys to explain, I might have to do it, because yeah, like I mean, like at this point, I'd rather interview the prospects than interview Inoue. Not because I hate Inoue or anything like that. It's just more so like, it's the hoops that they make you jump through. But like, I don't want to jump through that many hoops. Like I've been trying. I can't try. The guys, I kid you not. Well, we've been live for an hour and 10 minutes. So probably 90 minutes to 100 minutes ago, I was in the damn arena. I was in the Ariake arena. I talked to Mr. Honda in English. We spoke in English. And he wasn't trying to hear nothing I was saying. Mr. Honda, not Ohashi, Mr. Honda. So you can't get no bigger than that in Japan. I mean, hopefully I get a chance to meet Mr. Honda. Me and Mr. Honda have a mutual friend, and my friend is supposed to introduce me to him. So maybe that can happen. I don't know. But yeah. Listen, I've tried harder for the Inoue interview than anything in my entire life. It's not, at first, it was because it's something that I wanted to do. But then it became something so much bigger. It was like, okay, now I personally, I don't even really want the interview anymore. I'll be okay if I never get it. I'm perfectly content to interview all the other great, fun Japanese spotters. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm living the dream. I'm only trying to get the interview for the boxing fans that watch this channel. That's it. It's about my viewers. I really care about my viewers. Like, I really care about making people happy. I really care about, like, delivering great content. Like, I have a deep affinity for making people happy with my boxing content. So if people tell me, BT, we want to see you interview Inoue, even if I feel like I don't want to interview him, I'm still going to try my best. And I've been doing that. So, you know, it didn't happen this time. It's okay. Life goes on. BT, don't talk yourself down. You're big. You're big. Well, no, listen. In my opinion, in my eyes, I think very highly of myself. I feel like I feel like I'm the best. I think I'm the best. I think I'm the best boxing reporter in the world. But I don't want to go around saying that to everyone because then they think you're arrogant. But that's what I really believe about myself. That's why I've been covering boxing year after year when things weren't going good for me. Yeah, I know. The biggest name in all sports in Japan aside from Otani, I don't think anyone can get an easy. Yeah, I don't expect to get an easy interview with him. But trust me, I've been trying. I always wanted to watch Inoue fight live. Yeah, it's great watching him fight live. You don't need to. You going to Japan for almost a month proves your point. Actually, it's 3 months. By the time I leave here, it'll have been officially 90 days. So it'll be 3 months. More than a month. Quarter of a year. You don't need to, man. Inoue barely does Inoue barely does interviews with anyone. He is very reserved. Yeah, and I understand that. I've watched this interview. I know what kind of interview it's going to be. So it's not going to be like a Jen Sasaki interview, which is exciting. You know, it's going to be very stoic, very serious, because he has a very serious he has a very serious personality, you know, which is cool. Not everybody's, like, everyone is different. I embrace the differences of personality in boxing. Some fighters are going to be reserved. Some fighters are going to talk shit. Some fighters are going to be standoffish. Some fighters are going to be batshit crazy. Who cares? I like it all. Someone said, then you needed to join Fight Hype. Nah, fuck that. I'm not doing that. Never. Nah, I'm good. Never. True School. It's True School or no school. I would rather be here on True School. And if I can't get on True School, then we're not gonna do the interview. That's how it's gonna be. You don't put your blood, sweat, and tears into something and start to progress just to go with Fight Hype. I'm sorry. All respect to Ben Thompson and all the employees at Fight Hype. I got a lot of love for people that work for Fight Hype, but nah, man. Good. BT, you can get the interview in Vegas. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best, and hopefully it can happen. Hopefully now that they've seen me, like they see my face a lot. Like the gym manager for Ohashi Gym has seen my face like 6-7 times since I've been here, so they know my face, and we'll get bigger before then. Naoya Inoue is really building the Mike Tyson knockout highlight. Yeah, I mean, he's got an impressive list of knockouts. I give it to him. BT's already doing fine and well regardless. I agree with that. Thank you, Hockey. Let's just be honest. Inoue is being a diva. BT can get an interview with anyone else. I don't want to talk down about Inoue. I never met him. I can't say what he is or what he isn't. It's not really him. It's just everyone around him. Like, look, I'm gonna show you guys this. All right, I'm gonna show you guys this. Look, this is a press pass. This is a press pass. I had this on, and I still couldn't talk to him today. So it's like, you know, what can you do? You can try your best. But either way, like, I'm blessed. You know, shout out to the monster. Shout out to Inoue. I can't talk down on Inoue because the reality is, Inoue, along with Shinsuke Yamanaka, watching their fights back in 2016, 2015, 2017, them years. That's why I'm here in Japan. I'm here in Japan because of Inoue. I'm here in Japan because of Yamanaka. All right? These are the guys that sparked my love for Japanese boxing. So there wouldn't be any Japanese boxing content on True School Sports. I want you guys to think about this. If I don't watch Inoue in 2016, 2015, 2017, all those years and cover him, there is no American here. Sorry. There's no other American here. There's no other American. I'm crashing out. There's no other American reporter here. If it wasn't for Inoue and how great he was and being captivated by Japanese boxing and Shinsuke Yamanaka and all these kind of great fighters that I liked, then there's no American covering Japanese boxing on a consistent basis. Because as far as I'm concerned, like, yes, there's channels that go ahead and they interview Inoue and they do the big fights, but there's not anybody here talking about Japanese prospects. There's not anybody from the States talking about Japanese contenders. There's not anybody in the States that's really keeping the boxing fans clued in and exposing new fighters from Japan to the light. No, only True School, only BT. You know, and I'm not trying to say that to toot my own horn, but I gotta really let my nuts hang and just tell you guys like who I am. Again, you know, I would think Japan would love to have an American outlet interview. Well, not from me. Maybe Top Rank, but not True School. Trust me, tweet the walk-in video. Okay, I'm gonna do that. As soon as, in fact, when this live is done, I'll do that straight away. Is Canelo hard to interview? No, I mean no. It's hard to get a one-on-one with Canelo, but it's not as hard as this. It's easier to interview Canelo Alvarez than it is Inoue. I'm not exaggerating, because if you guys remember, I covered the Canelo Alvarez Edgar Berlanga fight, and he stayed and he answered one of my questions. I asked him about Better Be, and he answered the question, kind of, you know, but he answered. He listened to what I said and he responded. So, like, it's different. It's different when he's huge here in Japan. So, you know. BT, talk your shit, let your nuts hang. No, I don't want to be that guy. Like, I'm really trying to practice being humble in my life. I'm always trying to keep my feet on the ground, because I know how God gives, God can take away. Like, so God allowed me to come to Japan, and God allowed me to sit ringside, all right? And he can take that away. So I don't want to ever act like I'm better than anybody, but I can confidently say, and it's not even up for debate, like, with all due respect to everyone back in America, my colleagues, with all due respect to Marcos Villegas, with all due respect to Sean Zattel, any American boxing reporter, name them. Just name the American. Nobody has covered Japanese boxing as great as I have, as well as I have, as deep as I have. That's the truth. So, yeah, maybe when it comes to America, it'll be easier. I don't necessarily like the idea of having to, you know, share an Inoue interview with Marcos Villegas and these other guys in America. I feel like I put in enough work to, you know, when it comes to the States, when it comes to America, so I feel like I should get it there. But that's just me, you know. All I can do is work hard and continue to improve, and that's probably been the best thing about this whole Inoue thing, and people talking shit to me about the Inoue thing, is that it actually gives me more motivation to get better. I feel like I've gotten better since I made that video when I was mad in 2023 when I left the Ohashi gym. You know, I'm a much better content creator. I'm much better at interviewing, and I know a lot more about Japanese boxing. So I always use things to fuel me. And so anyway, I'm going on a rant. I'm going on a rant. What about Tank Davis, Tyson Fury? Are they hard to interview? I've never interviewed Tyson Fury because I never covered any of his fights. But Tank, you know, I've interviewed Tank. Tank is cool. Tank is super cool. Not hard. And Tank's a big star. I get hella views interviewing Tank. I've got YouTube shorts with Tank that have 800,000 views. I got interviews like 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. You know, I've done numbers with Tank. you know. So all I can do is work hard. All I can do is work hard. All I can do is just use any negativity and turn it into positivity and just pray for everybody and lift everybody up. And guys, I think on that note, I'm gonna wrap the live up because I am running out of data on my box, and I have to go on this train, and it is cold, and my hands hurt from this cold weather outside. So look, you guys take care. I'm gonna have more content coming out. I appreciate everybody that supported True School Sports over the years. This day was 10 years in the making. I wouldn't have got to Japan if it wasn't for you guys. I'm just like you guys. And no matter how big this channel gets, I will never, ever be too good to talk to the boxing fans. There's some channels that when they get big, when they get like a lot of subscribers, like 100,000, 200,000, they don't even talk to their subscribers, you know? But I always try to talk to you guys when I can. And I try to always be down to earth and show that respect, because there's a million channels out here. You guys give me the respect to listen to me flap my gums about boxing when you could be doing a million other things with your time. So I don't take it for granted, and I'm going to continue to work hard. And I got 10 more days left here in Japan. There's still one more boxing show left at Corkin Hall. I'm probably going to go to it, and I'm going to try to get more interviews. And by the way, I got 3 interviews that I haven't even dropped yet, waiting to edit. I interviewed Hirota Kayaguchi, Suzumi Takayama, and Inoue Yokoyama. So 3 interviews with 3 very notable Japanese fighters, and those will be out in the coming days and weeks and whatnot. So that being said, you guys take care, be blessed, continue to check out all the, not just Japanese content, but just boxing content in general, because I cover everything. I cover the American boxing, the Japanese boxing, just boxing in general. I'm a boxing guy. Boxing is my life, guys. Boxing is my life. There's not a time of the day where I'm not thinking about boxing. So I got one more fight here to go to in Japan. That'll be February 1st, Subaru Murata at Corkin Hall, and then that'll be it. And then February 3rd, I'm back in the States. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this Japan trip and the content I've worked my ass off to provide you, and we'll see where it leads me. But God bless Inoue. God bless you guys. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.